All right, welcome back to Rapid Fire Manufacturing. Today we have Andrew Brown in the hot seat. Andrew's all about championing the trades and making sure folks know just how crucial they are to the world of manufacturing and skilled trades. He's been out there closing the skills gap and opening doors for people who want to be hands-on in the industry. So let's dive in what Andrew has to say. Thank you for joining.
Thanks, David. Thanks for having me.
So trades like machining and welding are often seen as kind of a different ballgame from typical manufacturing career paths. How do you think we can blend these worlds to get more skilled tradespeople involved in shaping the future of manufacturing?
That's a great question because welding, machining, and other skilled trades really are the backbone of manufacturing. To truly blend these worlds, I think we need to start by fostering deep respect and understanding between traditional manufacturing roles and trades. And I was thinking about this. One way to do this is by creating more pathways that combine hands-on trades with manufacturing technologies, so CNC or robotics. Companies can bridge the gap by offering rotational programs where machinists or welders can spend time learning about the broader manufacturing processes or vice versa. But also, I think there's a cultural shift that's needed. We should spotlight skilled tradespeople not just as essential workers, but as key innovators who are actively shaping manufacturing. So by encouraging skilled tradespeople to take part, let's say, in research or development or tech development, for instance, we can tap into their practical knowledge and help create products and processes that are truly efficient and effective.
I love that. Now, when you talk about doing these rotational programs, so are we talking this is going to be up to the leaders and companies within the industry to provide these learning paths for them?
Yeah, I think so. It's got to come from upper management. It's got to come from leaders. They got to want to do this to really stay on top of things, because otherwise you're going to get it's going to be a revolving door in your company. You don't want that.
Now, yeah, absolutely. I talked with Keaton Turner recently from Turner Mining Group, and he mentioned, so I mentioned, yeah, give people the opportunity to try to explore. And he offered a new kind of insight where some people need that direction. So it's up to the leaders to really provide a good learning path, because at some point you may not know where you even want to work. So if you make that decision, maybe it's not the best idea. It's having the leaders in place to give you some of those affirmations and encouragement and kind of guide you in the right direction.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think it comes. I think it comes from the top. I think it comes from leadership, and they need to set the stage. I mean, it's all about what comes from the top, because again, if they're not interested in changing or evolving, what's the rest of the company going to do? They need to follow somebody, and they need to follow leadership.
So starting with that culture, internal culture, make it an environment where I guess I like that rotational thing, because you may give someone an opportunity like, hey, I liked CNC, but now I kind of want to get into welding. That's a great opportunity to get them to try these different things.
Yeah, I'm all for that. That was off the top of my head. That's what I was thinking. But putting something in place like that it could really be beneficial for an organization or manufacturing company.
Absolutely. I like that. Just now, how do we figure out the execution of that strategy? That's where, yeah, very difficult. So now you're a big advocate of apprenticeships and hands-on learning. How do you think these programs can do more than just teach skills, like maybe even change the manufacturing, like how it's done and boost the entire industry?
So apprenticeships and hands-on learning programs are unique because they don't just teach skills, they instill a mindset of problem solving and adaptability, which is really so crucial in modern manufacturing. So when a young person goes through an apprenticeship, they're not just learning how to weld or machine. They're learning to think on their feet. They're adapting to new challenges. That's what you want in your organization. And to come up with creative solutions. But beyond the skills, these programs really can help embed a culture of continuous improvement. If manufacturers could integrate, let's say, apprenticeships into their core talent strategy, it could lead to an industry shift where hands-on, adaptable workers aren't just operating, let's say, equipment, they're improving processes, they're reducing downtime, innovating on the shop floor. That's where I was thinking with apprenticeships. But they're just so powerful to get the right person in there and develop their skills in an apprenticeship.
Yeah, have you noticed, so in other countries, they'll have such strong apprenticeships and training that they're not concerned about people leaving the company because the people coming out of these programs are so skilled, they're always going to hop in these new spots. Like, is that something we could build in the US here, is apprenticeship programs that are so strong that we're not necessarily worried about the lack of skilled people coming out?
I can't speak to other countries per se, but I can say that skilled trades has looked very differently in other countries than the US. And I'm just thinking, like in Germany, I think I was speaking with somebody, like, it's well respected to be in the trades. Mm-hmm. There's a very different mentality there than there is here in the US. It's like we're way behind. We haven't evolved past the old adage of that is looked down upon. There's a miss here. It's getting better, I think, with social media and having influencers out there, and they're actually showing what they're doing, and kids are getting involved, and they're thinking now, hey, there's this college path, and now there's this trades path, because social media has really put the skilled trades on the map. But I still think we have a long way to go. But other countries, I do feel, are a little bit ahead of us in as far as where they look at people in the skilled trades. I think it's a very different environment there in certain countries versus the US when it comes to the trades.
Yeah, and I definitely have seen, it seems like a little bit of a shift as far as people not looking down as much. Like the college route is not necessary for everyone. So that's been pushed for a long time. And it's like, you can make a really good living through skilled trades. You can also have a really good work-life balance through it. And for me, it's the reward of finishing a project that you do with your hands, whether it's landscaping or carpentry. Like there's not a much better feeling than that. Like it's a sense of accomplishment and pride that you get from it.
I have a perfect example. I did a post on LinkedIn where I fixed a toilet that was running, and it was interesting because as I was fixing it, my son was walking by and he took a snapshot of my doing it. And then he got interested, and then he was kind of working beside me. And I was thinking, when I did it, I felt accomplished, even though it wasn't like a really crazy job. Like it felt really good, fulfilling to get it done. On top of my son learned something. But if I was in the trades and I'm doing this day in and day out where I'm getting somebody's heat on, or I'm getting the power on, or I'm doing something road work and I'm getting people to work, I'm doing bridge or tunnel work, and I put up a building, or I put up a school for education. That's fulfillment, because I never met a person in the trades who didn't brag about what work they've done in the past.
Yes.
Like they're so excited about it. So I was thinking about that. There was a very small piece that I felt good about fixing something, but they do this almost on a daily basis. So that sense of fulfillment and accomplishment is just amplified almost every day for possibly someone in the trades, depending what trade they're in. But
yes. And that's why it's so important for us to be, recognize how important they are to everyone's life. Something goes wrong with your plumbing or electricity, you're going to be wishing those people were there ASAP. So how can we get people involved and get more people employed in this skilled trade?
I am beating the drum every single day.
I see that. I love that.
Just out there, like just consistent. Like I made a commitment years ago, 23 and a half, almost 24 years ago, where I was on ground zero helping first responders, EMS, firefighters, and tradespeople find survivors on ground zero. And after that, I kind of made a commitment. I said, I want to lift up the skilled trades. I want to be a beacon. I want to be a voice. And I've never taken my foot off the gas. And on social media, I always feel that if I don't show up every single day, I'm doing an injustice, because people need to hear things 8, 9, 10 times before it actually literally sinks in. So I need to be consistent. Otherwise, it falls on deaf ears. So whether I speak in front of a group of 500 to 1,000 people, whether I'm on my podcast, The Lost Art of the Skilled Trades, whether I'm doing social media on LinkedIn, YouTube, or any other platform, or I'm on your podcast, I'm constantly beating the drum about the trades and slowly making that impact. Because in my view, if I change one person's perspective, if it's one kid who says, you know what, I am good with my hands. I was going to go to college, and maybe this college thing is not right. Let me look into this trades path. Or a parent who pushed their kid back because they don't want them to go into the trades, and they just have a different perspective on things. That's a win for me. That's a win for me. And I hear these responses from parents and kids who said, wow, I really started to listen to your content, and it's a good feeling to get that reassurance that, yeah, there's an impact being made. So that's what keeps me going forward. And I love this. I mean, this is a passion for me. This is fun for me. And the more people that I can get in front of and make an impact on, the better. So that's why I show up every day.
I love that too. And it's had a huge impact on me. So I've had, siblings and tons of friends that have their own businesses in the skilled trade. So I've loved it. But when I started listening to your LinkedIn clips, especially, it's gotten me to think a little bit differently. And it's like, how can I actively contribute to that? Because I'm already doing that on the manufacturing side. Now I want to do it with skilled trades. And by doing that, now I'm talking to people. So imagine how many people you affect that way, that learn more about what they can do. And then it spreads to, multiples. So thank you for doing what you're doing.
I appreciate that. Again, this is fun. This is passion. This is a mission. I just want to change more lives, make an impact. And that just involves just getting out there every single day, even when you don't have great days. You just keep showing up, and you keep, just sharing the benefits of the trades and what's possible, and getting people aware about advocating for the trades for the next generation. That's really what it's all about.
Absolutely. And Andrew, thanks so much for joining today and sharing your take on the trades and manufacturing and how they kind of go hand in hand. It's awesome to see someone who's pushing so much and so strongly an advocate for the skilled trade and the workforce in general. So keep doing what you're doing. And for those of you watching, stay tuned for more rapid fire manufacturing. Thank you all. Thanks, Andrew.
Thanks, Dave.